What's up, family? It's your favorite cousin, Rich. You already know what time it is. Episode 33 of Rich Talks. And today we're going to discuss, are we truly free? Are we as humans actually free? Is it illusion? Is the freedom that we think we have, is it an illusion? Or are we controlled? I think this is an interesting topic because now it forces you to look inside yourself, especially in the choices that you make. And now it forces you to ask yourself, am I truly free? And the choices that I'm making, are they really my choices? Or are they stemmed from an influence of the outside, an external influence? And I would have to say, it all depends. Some of us make free thought. Some of us have thoughts or actions that are influenced by outside sources. Some of those external sources could be things of like societal expectations, media, cultural norms. So it all depends if you play into those quote unquote games, if you are truly free or not. I would say the people who buy into those things like cultural norms, people who buy into societal expectations, people who bought into the media and allow those things to dictate their choices, I would say they're not truly free. They're not truly living life. At one point in time, I had to break these chains or certain chains that I had upon me. Just a quick thing before I forget. I remember there was a point in time in my life when I was wondering why I never wanted to date or experience just females from another race. And it all stemmed back to, how growing up, the influences around you are so gun-ho on you choosing someone who looks like you. And I even had to tell myself, isn't the ending or the final destination of pairing with somebody love and not to keep a cultural norm happy or to keep society happy or to keep the ones around you happy? So what is it? Is it to choose love or choose the people around you happy? I'm not saying that I'm dating anybody or, I chose somebody of another. I'm not saying that. It's just certain things that I even had on my brain that I had to break in order to live a full life. So take the time now to say, what are certain cultural norms or certain things that have been placed upon you that you even had to break? Or things that may have a hold on your mind that doesn't allow you to live life to the fullest, to receive certain blessings and abundance that life has for you. Okay, so that was the tangent that I need to get off before I continued. So, if you're a person who, especially now, I would say a lot of people don't have free thought or truly are not free, you know. And you say, well, why do you say that? Because everybody's tapped into their phone. Everybody's tapped into the media. And everybody is so influenced by those around them that people don't really make choices for themselves. From the moment people wake up, people make decisions based upon if Instagram will approve of this. You know, what they wear. They choose what they want to wear based upon if it's going to get the amount of likes necessary, you know. People don't even wear the same outfit twice because in case it gets posted, they don't want people to think that they wore the same outfit, you know. They scroll down and see the same outfit. Which is preposterous to me, but I get it, but it's preposterous. Let me put it like that. I get it, but I think it's ridiculous. But see, right there, people are not making choices for themselves, they're making choices for other people. So are you truly free to wear what you want to wear? Maybe you want to just wear, sweatpants and a t-shirt. But now you're not free. Now you're locked into having to wear these clothes in order to impress or in order to be validated by an external source. Anytime you're doing something for the validation of an external source, you're not truly free. You're not truly living for you. You're living for the validation or to be approved by someone else. In order to be truly free, you must live for your own validation. You must validate yourself first. You must approve yourself first. And a lot of people don't validate or approve themselves. Even when you think about dating or marriage, relationships, things of this sort. Every culture pretty much is so gun-ho on their offspring, majority, even if it's spoken or not spoken, I'll speak it. But majority of people want their offspring to marry someone who looks like them. Now, some people have evolved to, love is love. Some people have evolved to that. But some people are still stuck on, marrying someone who looks like you in order to continue a lineage or in order to continue, culture, whatever the case may be, which I understand. But on the flip of it is, when you put these pressures on someone, are you forcing them to live a life that you want? Or are you choosing them to live a life that they truly are happy and appreciative of? It's something that would make them happy. Something that fulfills their soul. And that's a reference also to what I stated at the beginning of when I even had to break out of the mindset of looking for a partner or, looking for someone to grow with and allowing me to allow my mind to be open to any and every type of culture and all these things and look for the actual characteristics of the person and not just have a certain filter up due to societal pressures, due to a certain type of upbringing. And even though that upbringing wasn't necessarily stressed upon me, even though a lot of stuff like in that realm of dating relationships wasn't stressed upon me as a kid, it's just the society and the culture and the people that you grew up around, a lot of that is already influenced. A lot of that is already, molded your mind. So you have to take a step back and unlearn the things that you've learned. And this is a step people have to take if they want to truly be free. You have to unlearn the things that you've learned. That's the only way. See, a lot of things that we've been taught It's just been wrong. We've been taught for someone else to gain power off. We've been taught in order to continue, keep things continuous. But are these things that we continue, are they even beneficial? I think that's the biggest thing. Are they even beneficial? Some would say yes, some would say no. I would just say it all depends on what exactly. But I think a lot of these things that we stay in cultural norms, that they've been forced upon us, it's just a continuous cycle. It doesn't allow for growth. It keeps people restricted. So people who fall into these societal norms, or people who fall into these societal structures, people who fall into the social media and this and that, are they free? No, they're being controlled. Even if you look back into, what was that, like the Industrial Revolution? And you would think those people were free at that time? No. And you say, why? Because even in the Industrial Revolution period, what happened was these car companies need to sell more cars. So what did they do? They started commercials, and they started banking, saying that if you don't have the money to get a car, we can loan you the money. Excuse me, let me backtrack. First, they started the TV shows having the wife on the TV show getting a car. She needs a car to go around town while the husband's at work with the car, so she can go to the grocery store and do this and do that. Before that, they were perfectly fine with one vehicle in the house. Now, when you create a commercial, you create the need that wasn't there, but now you create a need for people to want to buy a second car. So now they say, oh, we can't afford a second car. Oh, no worries. We have some type of special financing that you can utilize to purchase the second car. So now that's where it all begins, where the media begins to control you. So were you freely spending your money? Were you freely choosing this decision to have a second car? No. It was created for you. The thoughts and actions that you were going about was already made for you once you turned on that TV or once you turn on that radio. Nowadays, once you turn on social media. So are we truly free? Sadly, I would say no. Unless you individually have done the work. Unless you have taken a step back and really opened up your mind and really choose you and not choose society, not chose the culture. Which is a hard thing to do because now you're on the balance beam of being ostracized. You're on the balance beam of being let go. You're on the balance beam of being made fun of. You're on the balance beam of being on the outskirts. This is why a lot of people subconsciously do not choose freedom. Because now you have to survive on your own. Well, don't necessarily survive on your own because you still have God, But visibly, you have to survive on your own. And that's tough for people to do. It's just like people who've been to prison. Some people find it easier being in prison than being free. Why? Everything is already controlled. It's a controlled environment. And it's the same thing out here. Some people choose to be controlled. Some people choose, either consciously or subconsciously, they choose to be controlled. Why? It's easier. Some people don't want to think for themselves. It's too much work. Some people don't want to choose to think for themselves because it's risky. When you fall in line and you relinquish your freedom and you allow others to dictate your life, dictate your movements, dictate what you do and say and all this, and how you live your life. Once you relinquish that, your life is pretty much set. So all you have to do is just fall into accordance. Why do you think so many people refuse to do things like quit their job and go out on their own? Because that freedom is scary that now you have to depend on yourself. Versus doing what someone else tells you to do. And you falling in line and receiving that paycheck at the end of that week or that 2 weeks. That uncertainty is not fun for some people. So you have to ask, is everyone... So some people, I would say some people have chosen not to be free because they don't want to make those choices. Are they evil? I wouldn't say they're evil. I wouldn't say they're bad. I wouldn't say anything of that sort. If anything, I would say they're not prepared to carry the burden or the weight of what it takes to truly be free. And the first step of that is not caring what anyone thinks about you. If you don't care what anyone thinks about you, that's the first step of being able to live a truly free life. The moment, once you start caring about what others think about you, it's the moment where now you start shifting and changing your actions based upon those outside influences. And now you're losing your freedom. Another aspect of are we truly free, and I think this is a big one, which is touchy, is religion. Religion doesn't allow freedom. Religion forces you and puts you in a pigeonhole to live according to whatever that holy script, holy text, or holy person has stated. So am I saying religion is wrong? Is a religion bad? No. Am I saying these holy texts and holy, things are bad? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm stating is once you follow these things to a T, once you put this over governance of your life, you relinquish your true freedom that God has given you. Listen to what I said. You relinquish the freedom that God has given you. And now you release it to an entity. God has given you this freedom to think, feel, move, breathe how you choose, as long as you don't harm someone else. He's giving you these things, and we relinquish them to things like religion, because we believe this religion knows more and can guide us to the Holy Land once we leave. Because ultimately, that's why people follow religion. They believe that they have to follow religion because it's going to guide them to the Holy Land when they pass. Ultimately, I believe that's why people follow religion. It's for when they die. It's not necessarily because they want to be a good person. Because you can be a good person and not follow religion. Just because you don't follow a certain religion or religious ideologies does not make you a bad person. It allows you to be free, but it doesn't make you a bad person. But you are not truly free if you follow religion. Because of the constructs, because of how it forces you to live your life and not truly experience life. Life is to be lived. Life is to be experienced. That's why God made it that way. We're all having an experience here. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. And the moment we put religion, now we have fenced how far we can experience this life. So now are you truly free? You're a Muslim and you want to see what pork tastes like. Now you can't. Why? Now you're not free. You know? And who was to say why they said we couldn't eat pork at that time? Hmm? Was it done for control? That's why they put it in there? Or was it at a point in time where the pigs at that time were unhealthy? So therefore they put it in the text. Oh, if we put it in the text, then everybody will follow and everybody will believe not to do this said thing because it's in this book. Or even if you look at things like same-sex marriage or, you know, things of that sort, homosexuality. Isn't love love? So did they put this homosexuality thing in the Bible and all these things in order to control people? To me, if that's the way you want to play your game, cool. If that's how you freely want to live, because to me, love is love. Isn't love one of the highest forms of vibration? So love is love. But now you have blocked off that love that you could give and receive based off of an outside source telling you that this said thing is evil. See? I'm not saying that religion is bad. I'm not saying that religion is evil. I believe religion can be a guide to help you to live a better life if you have been lost, stranded, or you need some kind of guidance. I believe it can definitely do that. I believe the stories and the allegories and things of that sort could help you. Help you through tough situations, you know? Help you see a brighter day through the gloomy days. But the moment you subscribe and say this is your life, and you follow to a T, and you give up that freedom that God has bestowed upon you, that's where I find the issue with it. You know, like they always say, God has given you everything that you need. Anything extra, especially if it was created by man, it could be scary if you don't have the proper discernment. Even when we look at America today, land of the free, home of the brave. Morning, morning. Is it truly the land of the free? And you say, well, if it was totally free, then we would need rules and this and this and this and this. I get that. But is it truly free, especially when you put things like capitalism in play? And you allow capitalism to run wild. Now you have capitalism that runs wild. Now you have sparked and allowed the influence. Excuse me. When you allow capitalism to run wild, in order for capitalism to grow, it has to be a certain point to where you have to have advertisements and media and all these things that have to play a part. So I say this. Is it possible to really be free in a capitalistic society? Where those with the power, those that be, benefit off of groupthink? Is it possible? And sadly, the answer is probably no. It's not possible for majority of the people to be free, conscious thinkers and livers in a capitalistic society. Because if the people are not strong enough mentally in order to live their own life for their own approval, we'll be seeking approval from others. So in this capitalistic society where they're allowed to use media and advertising and all these things to push their product, you'll have a haves and the have-nots. And now the haves will continue chasing against the haves. And now the have-nots will try to be in the race or feel some type of way that they're not a have. So now you have the have-nots doing things like committing crimes or being in depression, having anxiety, all these mental and physical things that can come upon them because they're not a have. So now are they truly free? Those are the have-nots. So now you have the haves who are continuously competing against each other and one up with each other in order to be in that highest spot, that top spot. And this is all based off of some sort of capitalistic advertisement rulership that's going on. So the question is, how do we truly be free? First, you have to unlock your mind, release your mind from the traps that's been set upon you. Truly start living for you, your validation. You have to validate yourself, and that's number one. Validate yourself, validate who you are. Once you strip away all the things, everything that's been placed upon you in the world, start living for you. And when you do this, you might not even be married anymore if you're married. Or the person that you're dating, you might not even date them anymore because you'll see that you chose them based off society structure. You see you chose them based off to make other people happy. And not really for you. The job that you got, you see that you chose it because it was supposed to make other people happy. And you're not truly free being this doctor, this lawyer, this accountant. Where you want to go be something and do something else. You're not really free. So I say, if you truly want to step out and be free, the first step is to choose your own validation. Accept yourself. Validate yourself with whatever choices that you choose. Once you do this, this sparks a chain reaction. And everything in your life will follow. Those that are truly free are truly happy. Freedom and happiness are tied one and one. They're tied together. If you're truly free, you're truly happy. When you're truly free, a lot of items, materialistic items, a lot of things are not going to move you. You may want them because you genuinely desire them, not because it was put upon you to want them, but you'll truly be happy. You'll truly be free with whatever you have. You can have 2 pennies that you're rubbing together, and you'll still be happy. You'll still be blessed. You'll still be thankful. You'll still be grateful. So that's what I say. If you truly want to be free, the first thing you have to do is validate and accept yourself. Validate, accept, and love yourself. That's the first thing. Then after that, you start making choices for yourself. You start analyzing things in your life and say, did I choose this? Or Was the influences that were placed upon me made this decision for me to choose this choice or action. And like I said, once you start doing that, certain things in your life may just fall off. Certain people may fall off. Certain things that you used to do may fall off. Certain things that you may, certain places that you used to may probably go, you won't go there anymore. There's a whole lot of things. But that's the beauty of it, of truly living a free life. You know, once you choose to live that free life, it's like you're born again. And you make the choices and decisions for yourself, and you'll finally be happy. Because a lot of people who don't choose themselves, a lot of people who choose society, who choose these culture structures and social media and all these things, they're not happy. They're not. Even the influencer who has all the cars and all the clothes and all the girls, he's not happy or she's not happy because they're doing it for the gram. And the gram don't fill your soul. You got to make the right choices for your soul. And I'm going to end it right there. This is episode 33 of Rich Talks. Are we truly free? I hope this can help somebody. I love y'all. Y'all be safe. Love and blessings.